You ever call yourself lazy? I hear people use this word all the time. I'm lazy. I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything with my life. And I don't really know how to react to anybody who says that to me because my family has been full of workaholics. Now, let me give you a little bit of context with that, where it's not that they like working for working's sake or going to some company and being employee of the month. I mean, that's not what I mean at all. It's more like this fire in your soul that's constantly burning, where if you just sit down for a couple of minutes and try to relax, the back of your mind is like, you could be working. And that is a trait I definitely have. And it's strange for me because I like kind of living the artist's life, the life lacking a schedule. And I realize that there are people in this sphere who just, I don't know what it is, man. I don't really want to sound insulting because I think that if you like your leisure, you like your leisure. I'm just saying that it's like I've never been able to relate to people like that. Like you wake up in the morning, you make your coffee, and then maybe you just spend the entirety of it watching movies or enjoying media. Like that's actually a good thing to a certain degree, at least, because I've spent too much of my own existence making things. And I had this friend in my art class back in high school, and he told me that it's okay to want to make art all the time, but if you're constantly working, then you get no experience from which you can pull. Like, art is about life. They say that life reflects art or art reflects life. I mean, it's probably both. But when I think of that, I remember what that friend told me in high school. I'm like, okay, I do have to actually live a little bit, because if I don't, then what am I going to talk about? And you could just make art and kind of just, bullshit your way with your imagination. But I don't really think that there are any humans on this planet that can just come up with experiences from thin air. Everything is an inspiration from something, right? And if any of you have the same problem with being a workaholic, which I know one friend does have this issue, you gotta relax every once in a while. You have to just let yourself exist in life in this little peaceful room I'm in right now where nobody is sharing the space with me. I just look at the colors of the opaquely painted walls and the HD TV that you guys can't see there. All of this it's just learning how to be. And if I can kind of extend this over to even the use of smartphones, you know that interview of Louis C.K. with Conan O'Brien that came out, like, I think 12 years ago? Like, everything is awesome and we're all miserable. People are on their phone and they're like, God damn it, why isn't this loading? And Louis C.K. is like, dude, it's going to space, all right? Let it load. This crap is amazing. And when I think of anything that just takes us away from, like, the subconscious experience of life, it's not that I feel bad, but there's a part of me that needs to take a step back and enjoy the nothingness. Enjoy nothing. Enjoy how strange it is to be anything at all. We can quote Neutral Milk Hotel for a moment. But if you're not a workaholic yourself and this is how you live your life, dude, I could learn a lesson from you. Because the whole, like, being lazy thing is it being lazy? Like, I can understand if you're blowing off deadlines. I purposefully set deadlines for myself constantly so I can, incrementally move my way towards the future. But there are some people, maybe they just don't work that way. Maybe you do like to create art, but it's not about the deadlines. It's not about which project is done at such time. It's just a never-ending experience of this life. And I think it comes from, like, both compartmentalizing time and also being afraid of letting myself down. That's a big part of it. I don't really want to compare myself to other people. I have friends who are way more successful than I am. Depending on the metric that you use, of course. And I'm like, yeah, man, keep going after it. I'm wishing more of that for you. But then there's, like, the standards I set for myself, my own failure, that I worry about, where I don't like going to bed at night and thinking, oh man, there was that thing I wanted to do, but I ended up not doing it. And then that like kind of spirals into a self-hatred. It's not really a self-hatred, but like a criticism that just nags me at the back of my mind that I like to avoid. And then there are people who, I don't know, who are both conscientious and they want to work for their boss. They like to give more to other people. I like giving to my friends and all, but for a corporation, that's where I'm probably lazy. That's where I'm like, if this is a cause I really care about, I'll try to be in. But if I'm working at a yogurt shop, if I'm working at a hamburger stand, chances are my heart's not going to be in a job like that. I'll do my best, but that's probably where everybody is going to relate to me here. I'm just talking about when you're off your job and you have time to do whatever you want. Like today, I didn't have any work. I didn't have to go to work, and I could have spent my day watching One Piece. I could have spent my day just watching YouTube. But instead, the entire day, I spent editing videos. And I had fun. Like, I enjoyed it. It was great. I don't regret it. But, I looked it up, like workaholism, because I hear how other people spend their lives. And this is where, like, other people, I think, would go shopping. Or they would go to some amusement park. Or maybe go on a date with their girlfriend. And I'm like, nope. I'm going to stay at home, and I'm going to make a video today. Because if I don't do that, I'm going to hate myself. And that is a problem unique to a very specific kind of person, where you don't even... Like, I recognize that it's problematic to push off your friends or put off, seeing your loved ones and people. But, if I hadn't known the term workaholic was a thing, or that, normal people don't spend their entire existence constantly obsessing over the next art project, I'd probably just continue on as I am now till the day I die. But then I'm like, oh, well, I probably should. Like, it's almost like I don't have autism or anything, but it's like one of those things where you could facetiously say that it's like an autistic sort of like compartmentalization of the mind, that I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I have to have it this way, I have to have it that way. And I'll always be that way. How about you, man? Are you that way? You lazy? You like working? Do you like going after your creative projects with full tenacity? That's something that I'd like to know from you. Thanks for letting me ramble a little bit today, guys. So the little thing on my mind. Scrutly Mutley.